contact me, and they always get a response.
Your response always very diplomatic, you know. Be
Right,
honest
so you
with
have had a response from me.
Well, you know, you can take it.
You my reputation if you suggest that I ignore the people in my local
You know,
community.
at the moment we felt like that. I don't know if you like
And
it or you don't like it.
that is your right, sir. You must focus on what you want.
Yes.
I am telling you openly and honestly that no MP controls Mini Holland. Right?
Who
Mini
does?
Holland is a scheme from the Mayor of London and from the local authority. But I should also tell you that I think you cannot oppose Mini Holland if you do not have an answer for those children who've got asthma. Because we are now living in one of the most congested cities in the world.
I know that, that's
So
right.
you may think Mini Holland is not the right way to approach it. But for me, what I care about is air quality. I care about our children not breathing. Right. So give me an answer where people like me should not be driving as much.
Okay.
Because I have a diesel car, I am the worst offender, I have to change my behaviour because I can.
What's the Waltham
Older
Forest Borough can do? What they should do, they should only give a one permit per household for the car.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, how do you feel about that?
I got 5 cars, yes? No, I go 5 cars.
So we take away your 4 cars?
Yes, I have no problem. If you... One permit is... Yes? Then you can do
Yeah, sir, please. एक मिनट आना बारी दो जी काफी वेट
So again, car parking permits are managed by the local authority. So go and you make that case
He's
to
making
them.
money, isn't it? Money
Just go
scheme
and
for
make your
Waltham
case
still.
to them, because what you need is some honesty about where decisions are made. Every time an election, I agree with you, people will come and they'll suck up to you and they'll say, oh yes, Mini Holland, I don't think it's a good idea. Until they give you some answers, until they're honest with you
Traffic,
about
congestion,
where
everything.
they can make a difference, don't believe me. So the difference that I can make, I will always make sure your representations are heard. I will always challenge if I feel people aren't being listened to. But I will also tell you who has the power to change things. If you think there are differences about Mini Holland that should be difficult, so ways that the roads don't work, for example, or places where it should be one way rather than closures, feed your ideas in. Local residents can make this scheme work, but you have to feed your ideas in, because just saying no doesn't solve the problem that we've got with those children.
Who
I
hold
think
the
those children
WF?
matter. Do you agree those children matter?
Yes.
Right, so
Of
we
course.
have to stop our children getting asthma, don't we?
Who is in WF in control?
Okay.
It's
so,
in Labour, isn't
yes.
it?
But
It
I'm
is
not
in
their
Labour.
boss, I'm a different role. I go into Parliament, I go and
Yes.
look Theresa May in the eye.
Yes,
I
but
say,
they're all backing
when
you.
your
I can see
businesses-
here, they're all
when your
backing you.
businesses are going to face massive increases in VAT forms and all the problems that will come from Brexit, then you come and you talk to me, because that's what I'm fighting for.
Hello,
okay?
sir, you have a
You
question?
won't be able to trade.
Uncle,
That
please.
happens in Westminster. What happens in Walthamstow and Town Hall is parking processes.
Ask
okay?
a question.
That's honesty. You might not like what I have to say, but
No,
you
no,
will
no,
always
no.
get an
Listen,
answer.
you have your view, I
That's
have
why I
my
ask
own
for
view,
people's
you know?
Well explained.
Thank you very much, anyway.
Last question for you.
Hello, sir.
Look, I'm a Labour supporter from
Like brother, always
and I'm always supporting it. My only problem, same as everybody
Yeah,
else
sure.
for the roads. So
Yeah.
if you can use your influence and help
And
us.
that's where I see, like, there's a difference between someone like me, who should be driving much less than I do, because I can walk and I should cycle.
Yeah, but people
In
like
fact,
me who
Hassan
can't
needs to
walk,
make
what
sure I
they do?
cycle much more because my bike is broken. But you are in a different place, sir, and it's all about the balance. But we do know things have to change, because do you know people who have breathing difficulties? People who are having that's what this is causing.
Yeah, but it's also getting home as well.
Yeah.
See, where I live, I have to go 1 mile round to come to my house. I can't even just... My house is on the corner,
Where's your house, sir?
Murder Road,
I know this.
right?
Yeah.
I'm on the corner house, but I have to go to Channel Street and come round to my house.
So
Or
is
either
there a
I go through
different
the
way
church
round?
road and come that way. There is no way.
Is there a different way round? Because one of the things I've tried to encourage residents to use is feed their local knowledge of how the streets work and where people will
But
drive.
there is no,
into protests.
all the roads are no entry.
should know
From
better.
Clapton to there,
But how
there is
can
not
you expect?
one way road.
Come on. I will defend the local authority in the same way I have to defend myself. They are just 60 people.
No, we're not blaming you for it, but what
it's
we're
okay,
trying
it's okay,
to...
It's okay, but look, this is
We're
my
asking
point.
your help.
Nobody can be everywhere all the time. So if you haven't fed your ideas in, how can they know your intelligence about the area? Have you told them about your ideas?
Well,
We
went
have-
to few
we have-
demonstration, nobody
We
listened.
have been protesting twice, right?
Demonstrations
Where was you?
are different to
Where was
actually...
you
None
at
of
that
it town hall,
time?
we went
Where
many
was you at that
times.
time?
So
When
what
we protested, do you
I
know
have
that
no
how
idea.
many people was protesting against it?
Do you know what?
So if you don't have
Sir,
any influence,
sir,
right?
can I
I'm
answer
sorry
your
about
question?
that. I'm sorry, really sorry to interrupt you.
Okay.
But I'm saying the
Okay.
people have been protesting.
Okay.
When they say to us, right, who's against it? They don't have the eyes. Didn't they see the people at the town hall?
People see that people are concerned. Right, I saw that there was a
Yeah, but the
protest.
concern doesn't mean concern must be dealt with.
Would you like me to answer your question? Because I know sometimes people just want to get out their anger, so I understand that. So I saw the pictures of your protest because I was in Westminster, because Parliament sits until 10 o'clock at night, so that's where you asked me to be.
Did you have the feedback about it?
Yes, and I fed that into the
So
local
what did you do about the feedback?
Yes, I made sure that the local authority, the chief executive, saw all the concerns. But I have to tell you, there are lots of people who feel very strongly for it as well. So there's both sides of this. What I'm saying to everybody is don't just say no. Say what you think should be different. Give them ideas about how to improve the scheme. If you accept that we have a problem here with pollution, give people ideas about how to make the scheme work better. Don't just say no.
Do they listen? Do they
yes,
listen?
they do actually. I think they have.
We protested so
We
hugely.
Come on.
They didn't even open the window. We called them to come out. Come out, listen to us. We are here. Nobody wants to listen. Labour is not listening. I'm telling you. One last point. One last thing. Me?
In order to listen, though, we have to give breaths, don't we, so that we can hear each other and answer questions.
Me, my son, 2 sons.
He's member of mosque committee.
I know.
We've been no, it's not. It's nothing about the mosque. I'm talking about individually. Don't put something on my mouth.
Okay.
I'm a Labour Party member for the last 15 years.
Okay.
My 2 sons are Labour Party member for 2 years. You should see my anger. Being a Labour Party member.
I hear you. Have you
We never been listened.
Have you spoken to your councillor?
Of course.
Who's your councillor? Who's your councillor?
What's his name?
He don't know.
Liaquat San. Jawhar Khan.
Okay.
Jawhar Khan.
Okay.
Did they listen?
Have you spoken to Joy?
Yes, of course. So many times. Not once. So many times.
No response.
Because what I have seen.
They
so,
don't do nothing.
can
These
I-
councillors don't do nothing.
Okay.
Obviously, this
Can
is not in their hands. Obviously,
Can I just give you an example?
Yes, please.
Because I think Hassan and I would agree that when it first came in, around where
I'm not representative of mosque at the moment. I'm representing myself.
Would you like me to answer your question? Okay.
Because
let me give you an example.
confusion is
Let
there.
me give you an example. So when it first came in, I've been upfront with people. I was
Labour
sceptical.
voting here now.
Both ends of my road were closed off. I have to say, I did think that maybe Clyde had looked at a map of where I lived and thought, right, I'll start there. You have to get used to change.
says I'm going to give.
But also, I think they've really learned. So in the High Street
We all
area,
wait for Labour.
actually they did do a lot more changes, and I've
And we
seen some
want
changes
Labour
around
come
the
again.
High Street area too. I don't think anybody's saying that any scheme is perfect, but that's because people have fed
You
in
see in
ideas.
your own local papers, you see in your own people, right?
Anyway, Stella, we support
The ambulance,
we support
ambulance
Labour
gets stuck.
because of
People have died.
So if
You
would
know
like,
all of that.
If you would like the response from the ambulance services, because I've asked this question too, because obviously everyone was concerned, and I've had different information.
We have
back
to
from them.
find a way
So
out
I'm
of
trying
it.
To help
That's
people
what I'm
find
saying.
Okay.
We have to
But
support.
Just saying no. What do we do to help those?
Are you
children
going to
and those
Find
people
us,
who can't
find
breathe?
a way out of it.
Okay,
What
let's
is that
have
way?
let's
please
go to the
finish.
next
Are
one.
you going to support Labour?
Always supported Labour.
Yeah.
Always be aware.
Now we finishing.
All my votes go to Uncle, wherever
Yes.
Uncle says.
Yeah.
Even to be honest,
Yes,
he's my
that's
cousin.
yes.
Joy is my first
But I'm
cousin.
on the ballot
We
paper.
always supported Labour. We always. Stella, we don't. Honestly, I mean, we support you as well. What I'm trying to say is this: even for example, politics, in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, let's say. You leave Labour, go to Conservative. No, I'm just
Never.
giving.
Never, sir. You
This
don't
is
see what's
politics.
in my heart.
I'm 50
You don't
years
see
old and
what's
I've
in my
seen
heart
some.
about
But
the
anyway,
values.
my vote's with Uncle and with you. So we have no problem
Thank you.
voting Labour.
And Amar,
I'm a
what?
socialist.
Excuse me.
I'm a socialist.
One
I'm
more.
a Democrat.
One more.
I'm always gonna
One
be a
more.
socialist.
Where you going to vote?
I'm going to vote to Labour. My whole family vote Labour, and I'm going to be always with the Labour. Definitely.
Yeah, that's fine. That's our Labour Council. Yeah. Your vote for Labour. Yeah.
I'm a member of the Labour Party.
So you
So I have
asking
to
questions.
But I
put my
understand, I
things
understand.
through.
we love
So-
Labour.
Because
Finally,
So
to
what I would
me,
say is,
Labour Party should be doing something much better than this. That's what I'm saying.
That's
okay,
it.
so between
And
us,
must be listening.
okay, and I hear your frustration, and I understand if you haven't had a response, that's very frustrating. The question for me is, how do I help you feed your ideas in? Because that's the role that I can
last
play.
message.
So I need
I'll
you.
go-
Do you have email? Will you
Chalo,
email
ek
me
minute,
your
yeah,
ideas?
of course.
Stella,
Okay,
Of
email
course.
me, and then I
Why
can follow
not?
that up with.
Stella, please,
Okay.
last message from you for public. Yeah. For Waltham Forest public, please.
Well, I hope that I've proved I will always work harder than anybody for this community because it's where my family live. I live on these streets too. I deal with the consequences of these changes, but I'm also worried about this country. I'm worried about a Prime Minister who calls an election 3 years early. You don't do that if you're confident about the future. I'm worried about the influence of people who want to divide us, of people like Donald Trump, of people like President Putin. I'm worried about things like human rights. I'm worried about Brexit. I'm worried about poverty in our community. And that's what this election is really about, because that's where in Westminster we make big choices that can change people's lives. Do you know, we could lose 330 teachers from our local schools because the changes in school funding. Our hospital is running out of money. Our social care, our public health, our mental health services are in crisis. These are the choices that this election has to be about, because don't let anybody tell you there aren't different choices to be made. I hear people's frustration about politics. I do understand it. But I'm telling you, if I didn't think we could make better choices, if it isn't worth fighting together for this country and this community, I wouldn't be standing, because nobody will work harder for Walthamstow than me. There's too much at stake here, but this community needs to speak up and tell this Prime Minister that we want a different future for our country.
That's right.
Only voting for me will deliver that, but I hope I can have people's support to do it.
Thank you very much. Ihsan, any comments here?
Nothing further to add. Just urge all the community to support Stella in this election. Don't take it for granted. We need every vote, every person in Walthamstow to come out and support Stella.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You? Just 30 seconds, yeah.
We want the people to vote Labour, not only because of Labour, because the Labour Party is standing for the working class people.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Labour Party is standing for the education. They are going. My son is a teacher, and he come home and he complained to me, Dad, what they are doing with the education. So if we elected this Tory government for another 5 years, then God will help us. So please make sure you are, not only you, but your friends, your family, to support Labour if we have to live in this country with the dignity and for the future of our children.
Much benefit cuts, so everything is cuts out.
11,000 children now in Walthamstow living in poverty. That isn't by accident. That's
Homelessness,
because of what this Tory government is doing.
housing problems.
The housing problems that we have are unbelievable. 46% of people here earn less than a living wage. Only a Labour government will promise you a living wage of £10 an hour. That makes such a difference to our community. Those are the choices, the laws that I can help make if I'm in Parliament again. We cannot do that as a community if we're out of power.
Okay. And last, you want to say anything?
Well,
you are the councillor as well?
Yes, I am Labour Party member for 25 years. And we have always supported Labour Party, because the Labour Party is party of ordinary people, not for the rich. Tory, they are for the rich people, so we should support. I would ask everybody to support the Labour Party as a party. Stella had last time, she was, I think that was the first or second term last time.
Second term.
Because this is an early election, like I say, because she's frightened about what she's going to do next.
She had majority of 30,000.
She has more majority
Okay.
than...
Now parking limit is finished, yeah?
You're sending a very strong message to Theresa May that the choices she's making about our country that affect our community, on things like the living wage, on things like our schools, on housing policy, on healthcare, are not the right ones, and that Labour has better ideas for our community and our country. She needs to hear that message, because she's telling people she doesn't like people disagreeing with her. I think you can guarantee one thing from me: I will always stand up for Walthamstow, and I will always stand up to Theresa May.
Good luck. Good luck. Yeah? Thank you very much. There is a parking problem, and now we are going, yeah?